And you are watching Aconnectiontv.
Hey folks, it's Ari from Real World Explosion, and you are watching Aconnectiontv.
I am Wesley the Crazy Man. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. What is going on, world? This is your boy Wesley from Aconnectiontv, the network. The one channel on YouTube where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences. And the similar connection that I want to adopt with you guys is with the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. It came on this past Sunday, part 2 of season 6, episode 35, something like that. Now, this particular reunion was hot. Even without the fights, it was hot. And the reason why I really liked this reunion is because it seemed real. It really did. It seemed real. Once again, the only person that's the fakest on this show is Kenya Moore. And the reason why I say that is because she lives, like I said in my first review, she lives in the land of make-believe. And she applies certain rules and regulations and maturity to things outside of what she does. So, for example, she'll care for Portia if Portia's crying about such and such and such. She'll care for this person if this person is going through such and such and such and such. But when it's in regard to her and what she's done that's shady or crazy or malicious, she rationalizes it. We start this whole freaking reunion off. Coming after the fight. Okay, now y'all went in on me in my last review, talking about, oh, you're biased, you need to read the fucking article right, blah, blah, blah. I read this article, I can't remember where I read it. I don't really care like that. But I read this article about Kenya Moore and Portia Stewart. And in the article, I read it stating that Portia had went through military training and so forth and so on, and weapons training. But somebody on the YouTube was like, no, you read the fucking article wrong, you bitch. It's Kenya Moore. Kenya Moore went through the fucking training, you biased motherfucker. And I'm just like, okay, my bad. Sorry. Still don't make no difference. I can understand now if that's the case, because I didn't want to reread the thing. I'm not looking for it. If that's the case, then I can understand why Kenya did not attack her. Because Kenya could have whooped her ass, if that's the case. But either way, we start this episode off with Kenya rationalizing her being wrong. Because if Candy were to do that, no, fuck that. If Nene were to do that to Marlo, oh, Nene, you were wrong bringing out the scepter and the bullhorn. You shouldn't have did that. You know, Marlo is your friend, and I would have never done that. That's terrible. But no, Kenya does it, and I don't care. It doesn't condone her. It doesn't excuse her for getting physical violent and blah 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 blah. You should never put your hands on a lady. Never, in any circumstance, should you be violent to a woman. That's some bullshit. I'm sorry to all my ladies out there that watch me. That is some bullshit. I'm sorry. Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell I'm gonna sit there and let a female, because she a female, think for 1 second that she gonna whoop my ass, and I'm just gonna sit there and take it because she got a pussy. Fuck out of here. This, I'm telling y'all right now. Anybody come in my face with a scepter, pointing this shit all up in my face like this. First of all, first of all, why are you doing that? Why are you here? Why are you here, first of all? Second of all, get the shit out my fucking face. Third of all, if it hit me, you getting hit back. I'm sorry. No one, let me put it to you like this, Kenya Moore. No one in this world has the right to put their hand on someone else. The only time that right becomes valid is if they're hit first. That's how I feel about it. Okay, so should Portia have hit Kenya? No, I don't think she should have hit Kenya. I really don't, because Kenya did not hit her. But when you're pushed and provoked and you feel threatened, you cannot expect someone to react the way that you would have. Okay? Nene was preaching that throughout the whole reunion. Cynthia, you can't expect me to act this way and the way you want to act. Cynthia, I'm me and I'm going to do me. God damn it. Well, I believe that. Okay? Everyone reacts differently to certain situations or to different situations. And just because Kenya feels that, but see, that's the thing though. That, I don't know if the roles were reversed. If the Rolls Royce went over to the left instead of to the right, what would Kenya have done? What would Kenya have done? I mean, I don't know. It's easier said than done, people, but this whole beginning of the episode was her trying to validate what she did and how Portia was wrong. And what I really appreciated was that all of the women, except for Cynthia's ass, all of the women felt for Portia and understood where Portia was coming from. Candy said, you ain't gonna be pointing shit about She said, you ain't gonna be pointing shit in my face and think that everything is gonna be alright. When you come up all up in here, when you come all up in here, you're invading my personal space. And then Nene chimed in, she was like, Kenya, you were wrong, and that's that. And Phaedra was like, you were wrong. Cynthia, I'm trying to look at my notes because I'm trying to get everything right. Hold on one second. Cynthia, what did Cynthia say? No, Kenya was like, it wasn't the props that caused it. It was her words that caused it. And Portia felt that she couldn't defend herself with her words, so she wanted to defend herself with her fists. I'm like, bye, girl. And then Kenya was saying that, oh, I'm just having fun. Fuck that! See, that's the land of make-believe. See, Mona about to come out. That's the land of motherfucking make-believe. How your punk ass gonna sit here and say, oh, it's fun, it's just for fun and games? Where is the reality and fun and games? That's not real. That's not fucking real. I swear to God, had Candy been on Portia, Candy would have ransacked that bitch. Candy would have ransacked that. She's like, I'm just having fun. So because you're on the reunion, you just want to have fun? No, that's why I don't respect Kenya. I would respect Kenya more if she owned up to her shit and realized what the fuck she was doing to people and how it affected people, and just owned up to her trying to start shit. I would love Kenya more if she knew that was her role. But she pretends like that's not her role, and she acts like she's I would have never. Bitch, get the fuck out of here. Like, this chick is... Okay. Cynthia's on Kenya's side. You know, Cynthia was all frightened and shit by the fight. So she was just like, oh my God, and her nipple popped out. So, you know, forget Cynthia, whatever. She was just sitting there putting on makeup the whole time. Whatever. Then, Kenya brings up a phone call that happened in a past reunion, apparently, where Nene called her up, apparently, or supposedly, and said, let's attack Phaedra. I believe that. You know, I believe that Nene is very sneaky that way, and I believe that Nene wants the world to think something of her, but I don't think that it's 100% true. I really don't. So I believe that phone call could have happened. But you know, right away, Nene tried to deflect that and was like, you're trying to be dirty, you're trying to hit below the belt, and I'm not going to do this with you, and this and that and the third, and we've pieced it out, and you're just trying to start something. I'm not here for you, you know. Whatever, Nene. Then we get into Chuck. No, before we get into Chuck, I'm sorry. Before we get into Chuck, I had to show love to my girl Candy for saying, all my life, I had to fight. When she made that reference to Color Purple, because Kenya was talking about her childhood and all that. And then, you know, of course it broke in the news that Portia came out and said that she was physically abused in the relationship with Cordell. I can see all of that. I can see Cordell's gay ass whooping her ass because she didn't put on the weave the right way. I can see Cordell's gay ass whooping her ass because she ain't wear those red bottoms and she wore white bottoms. I can see Cordell, and I'm not trying to make fun of the situation, but I can see his gay punk ass doing some trifling shit like that because he was very controlling, and you could just tell. You can just tell he was very controlling. And the way that he argues with the females, you can tell that he got that bitch ass trait to want to fight a girl, to want to fight his wife. You just get that sense. I don't know if Portia's lying. We'll never know the complete truth because, of course, Cordell will. If he does respond, I don't know if he did respond yet, but if he does respond, he'll deny it, just like he denies being gay. But at the end of the day, I mean, that shit was just crazy. I don't think Portia's mugshot was hot too. I mean, that's the hottest mugshot I've ever seen. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Poor Portia. I hope she comes back on the show. I don't know. It would just add for more drama if she comes back on the show, and I think she should come back on the show. The whole Chuck situation with Candy and Nene and Phaedra, about if Nene really knew Phaedra. Don't nobody give a fuck about that. At the end of the day, they knew of each other. They may not have known each other, but I can tell you they knew of each other. Because when I look back at the episode 30 episodes ago, and it just reminded me that this season was so fucking long, you could tell that Nene knew of her because of the things that she was saying. Even outside of the head doctor rumor, which was just Nene being bitchy and, well, shady, not bitchy, but just shady and very whatever. I mean, it is what it is. It just is what it is. Can I see Phaedra being a head doctor? I know Phaedra's a freak, so I'm not going to put it past her. But she was like, there was never a rumor about me like that. I don't know where that rumor came from. I was the smartest girl in my class, and so forth and so on. And then I'm just like, all right, does it really matter? Does it really matter? Candy talks about how it felt weird and strange that Phaedra and Nene were actually getting along, and then Nene's like, well, what do you want us to do? Do you want us to argue the whole time? Do you want us to fight the whole time? What do you want us to do? What do you want us to do? And then Candy's like, well, no, I just thought the shit was fake. We can move on. Let's get into Mama Joyce. Mama Joyce made this whole reunion look like, this is the title of this reunion. This is why old broad should not drink. That's what I got from Mama Joyce. Mama Joyce was drunker than a skunker. She was drunker than a skunker. She comes on, hey Andy. How are you? How's everybody doing? Don't I look fabulous? I lost 40 pounds. It's all that damn stress, baby. I just wish I would have knew Todd long time ago. I knew I was gonna lose this 40 pounds, baby. I'm like, Mama Joyce, sit your ass down. What is wrong with her? What is wrong with her? She looked like one of those drunks that was just sitting here like, when there's a somber moment, when we find out that Velvet died, she's sitting there like, 40 pounds is what I lost. I'm like, oh my God. If I was Candy, I would be embarrassed. Candy Burris should have been Candy embarrassed. Because I, for the life of me, could not imagine having my mother on that couch acting the way that she was acting. Mama Joyce didn't even know that it was a week from now. She like, 2 weeks, the wedding's in 2 weeks. A week, mama. A week, whatever. I'm like, damn, that's fucked up. I'm like, is she really playing into this Mama Joyce role? Is she drunk or is it both? What is going on? What do y'all think Mama Joyce was on? She was so not sober. She was so not sober. She looked worse than Paula Patton did at the all her red carpets before she broke up with Robin Thicke. you know how Paula Patton was looking and shit. No, she was worse than that. Mama Joyce did man, listen. Mama Joyce said that she did not receive any kind of negative attention until the whole She Set Todd Up came about on the show. And I'm thinking to myself, really? Because I read quite a few things where they were saying that Mama Joyce need to leave, mind her motherfucking business. Mama Joyce is only after Candy for the money. So I don't know what she talking about. Then she went on this tirade about the people on Twitter and the people on Facebook and all that. And then when she was getting ready to questions, she like, well, tell her to mind her motherfucking business and tell her she don't know shit. She don't know nothing about AJ when AJ had 3 kids before, but what about the other 3 that came on after that? Okay, so tell her to mind. I'm like, Mama Joyce, Mama Joyce boy. Then she gonna have the nerve to say she don't really hate Todd. So I'm like, okay, is this for Kiki's talking about if she had a son, she would want him to be like Todd? Then I'm confused. Why you say you gonna wear black at the reunion when you couldn't wear black at the wedding? Fucked up. Don't even know what it is. That's what I'm saying. It's like, is she playing the role? Or is she really not? I mean, because how would you, if you had a son, you would want Todd to be that? But then you don't want her to get married? That don't make no damn sense. Am I the only one that was lost by this? To be honest, Mama Joyce got on my fucking nerves watching this goddamn reunion because I'm thinking to myself, she's too old to be acting like this. She's someone's grandmother, she's someone's mother. So she should act accordingly. She has no regret, no remorse, no anything about the show, and it left a bitter taste in my mouth, and I'm very unsure of her reasoning behind the way she acted on the reunion. Is it for the show, or was she just drunk, or is it both? Then when we get into the topics of what Candy did for her mother and how she spent money on her mother, there's no reason why Candy would have to explain what she's doing with her money, period. Let alone what she's doing with her money for her mother or with her mother or whatever the situation is. That's none of my business. That's none of anybody's business. Candy can do whatever the fuck she want to do with her money. But at the end of the day, when Miss Joyce made it seem like Candy didn't take care of her, soon as those words was even uttered, I'm like, girl, bye girl. You cannot tell me you got $1 millionaire for a daughter. Okay? You got $1 millionaire for a daughter, and what she say, she want to find 100 there? She want to find a man that's 100 there. I'm like, Joyce, Mama Joyce, okay? There's no way that you got $1 millionaire for a daughter and you ain't seen none of that money. She come talking about, I got better diamonds. Everybody want my diamonds. My house is paid for. I'm like, Mama Joyce, you ain't paid for it. Mama, you ain't paid for it. Mama Joyce looked like she hadn't been working in like 20 years, 15 years. So how she paid for that? You know how she paid for the house. But then again, I remember when back in the show, she took over Candy's house. So if that's correct, because I know y'all gonna get me on that. If that's correct, of course the house is paid for because it was Candy's. So I'm like, I don't understand why she acting like. You know what I'm saying? Because we all know what's right. Candy gonna take care of her mother regardless. That's fine. Take care of your mother, but don't say and be like. And then Candy's like, well, don't sit. You want me to tell the truth? Don't sit here and be like, you didn't get. She's like, I only got $700 a month. That's a damn lie. I cannot see Mama Joyce only dealing with $700 for a month. Then she went in saying, you know, back in her day, she did whatever she had to do to take care of her kids. She was never on welfare like some of these mothers are. So anybody can kiss her ass. She don't care what anybody think. She said back in the day, I would have been on the pole like Nene. I had the body back then, but I wasn't going to do that. I was borderline about to do that. And I was like, is she reading Nene or is she acknowledging Nene for what she did for her kids? I couldn't tell because Joyce is being shady. And then when she tried to cut through Cynthia, you know, cut Cynthia's throat. She was like, and then Cynthia, I deserve an apology. Because you said such and such and such. And Cynthia was like, well, you know, I feel I do need you to give your apology. And Miss Joyce was like, yes, you do. I was like, oh, all right. Miss Joyce trying to goop her down. She trying to goop these bras for real. But anyway, I don't know. This reunion was interesting. The whole Cynthia versus Nene situation, I don't really care about all that. I felt it was cool for Cynthia to really voice her opinion the way that she wanted to. But Nene does not like to look any other way. She doesn't like to look a poor type of way. Nene knows damn well she was wrong. Nene knows damn well she didn't treat her right in that situation when she went off and cried. Nene knows damn well. That's why she was like, well, we're not going to talk about it amongst you guys. We'll talk about it with ourselves in private. If Cynthia wants to talk to me, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, really, Nene? Really, Nene? And then Andy's like, well, this is the reunion show. This is what we're supposed to do at the reunion show. Well, I don't give a fuck what we're supposed to do at the reunion show. I'm going to talk to her when I want to talk to her, and so forth and so on. I mean, this reunion was hot. It was pretty hot and tempting. It was fat. Okay? Y'all let me know what y'all think about it. Portia should have ran out and whooped her ass again. That's what I feel about Kenya, because I just don't get it with Kenya. I really don't. I just don't get it with Kenya. I promise you I don't. I promise you I don't. But y'all let me know what y'all thought about this reunion part 2. Mama Joyce, was she drunk? Kenya, does she really live in a land of make-believe? Candy, I love Candy. I love Phaedra. Nene just needs to own up to her shit. Cynthia, I highly doubt that she'll be coming back for another season. I doubt it. But, Kenya will be back. And it was funny how Nene was like, well, why don't I just call Portia out here? And then Kenya was like, oh, okay, well, why don't I just call Marlo? I was like, oh shit, did she really do this? She did. All right, this has been another episode of my review of Roa. Okay, thank you for watching. Like this video, click that thumbs up button, and share this on Twitter and Facebook. Deuces.